Hi everyone, welcome back to Cassandra's Plants. Today I finally got around to doing the video of the comparison of different types of Pothos and Philodendron. As I know these ones, as you would have seen in my previous videos, they're very easily confused. So today I'm going to do the difference between a sweetheart philodendron or a Philodendron Scandens, a Philodendron Scandens Brasil, a golden pothos, which you can see is my huge one, and just for a bit of comparison, even though I did include this in my other video, if I can just bring it into view, a philodendron lemon lime, so you can see for the colours. So we'll start off with the Scandens, or the sweetheart one. So all of these are my personal plants. Obviously we do sell these in the shops as well, but I thought I'd show you my personal ones as they're obviously my favourites. So this one is called the Philodendron Scandens. Now these are all trailing plants, they all hang down, but this one is quite perky. I'm quite surprised because she was quite dry. Now I let all of my trailing plants go really quite dry, and you'll see on the pothos when I show you that before I water them, or they're really susceptible to over watering and going yellow. So this one is the Scandens, and as you can see, the reason why it's called the sweetheart leaf is because the leaves are almost a perfect heart, pretty much. That one and this little one down here, perfect heart shapes, and then this beautiful jade deep green, like really lovely green, and they are one of the easiest plants I have ever grown. So they'll slowly trail down. See, that was the original leaf I got on a cutting. That's a bit sad, but it's still quite pretty. And then he's put out these huge ones and these new little ones that will get bigger, and yeah, I love it. I love this plant. That's my favorite plant. So this is the Philodendron Scandens, just the Scandens on its own, nice and green. So now comparing to that, and I'll leave that in the shot for a minute, is first of all I want to compare it to the Brasil. Now the Scandens Brasil is the variegated version of the Scandens. They're still heart leaves, and this is my one. So there's actually 3 different stems in here. That one's a bit small and floppy, but we'll leave that one. But there's 2 other established ones in there, if you can see. And this plant I've just put together from cuttings, either that I bought or ones that I've taken off of my other plants. So that's my favourite leaf. So the variegation on this, and you'll find it more as the plant matures and puts out more leaves, doesn't stay as a stripe down the middle. The leaves pretty much do whatever they want. So I've got one in here that's almost completely green. It's got a tiny little bit of variegation on it. One that's almost completely neon colour and a bit of a weird shape. Then this beauty, and then these little ones, and this one down here that's almost all neon with a tiny little bit of green. And yeah, they're awesome plants. They change their minds as often as the wind. So that is the Brasil. And if you compare it to the heart leaf, for example, the leaves are almost, just move this up a bit so you can see, are almost exactly the same shape. You see from this little one, except it's got the variegation. So that's the Brasil, and that's the heart leaf. So this, the Latin name for this is a Philodendron Scandens Brasil. That's how you tell the difference. So they are the same plant, they just have the Brasil ending on. Now there are different varieties of this that are really sought after, like the Cream Splash or the Rio or the Silver Stripe, and unfortunately I don't have any of them. I have absolutely scoured everywhere I can, Facebook groups, shops, everywhere, in the hope of finding one mixed in with the Brasil somewhere sneakily, but you can't. So I don't know if that's a UK thing or they're just a lot rarer than I thought, I don't know, but you will see them going for hundreds of pounds on places like eBay and Etsy, just cuttings. So if I ever get my hands on one, I will of course do another comparison video for you. But at the minute I can't find one. So if you know where to buy one, and you know one that's going at a reasonable price and is definitely one of those variations, because a lot of sellers do get them mixed up with an ordinary Brasil, But what a lot of them look like is, along with the yellow, they have a white or a cream stripe, or the stripe is just cream on its own, and the leaves are a lot more elongated. So there you go, keep a lookout for them. So that's the difference between a Brazil and a normal Scandens. Now, if I show you the difference, if I pop the lemon lime in the middle, you can see. So this is a Philodendron Scandens lemon lime. Now, as you can see again, same shape leaf, exactly the same shape. So they're all based off the same plant, pretty much. But this is just a much lighter colour. It's a neon colour. And I said that this one is my favourite. I actually think it's this one. When I got this, I bought this. You would have seen this in a previous video. I got this from plants.com. And it came a bit battered and bruised, and it has literally in the last 3 or 4 weeks just gone mental and put out so many leaves. And every time my 5-year-old walks past it, he's like, oh mummy, look, there's another leaf, and they've all come out perfect. Like, they're all immaculate. I can't see, I think apart from the original leaves that were a little bit like these underneath ones that were a little bit sore when they turned up, all the other ones have been immaculate. And it is, again, one of the most easiest plants you can buy. So if you can ever get one of these, buy it, do it, without a doubt. It's one of the easiest plants. And as you can see on here, again, the neon colour is the same as the stripe in the Brazil. It's almost exactly the same colour. So I like to keep them 1, 2, 3 all next to each other, and it looks like a bit of a rainbow of philodendrons, which is quite nice. So then, moving on to the difference between the heartleaf philodendron and the golden pothos. Now, these two plants get mixed up all the time. This also gets mixed up with the Brazil quite a lot because of the variegation on it. And I spoke a lot about pothos in my pothos video. So go and check that out if you want some more information. So as you can see, this is a really old plant. It's been chopped and hacked at, and it's probably about 10 years old. So this one, at the minute, I've just watered it, but I wanted to show you how curly the leaves go when it needs watering. So it's almost like it gives you a bit of a signal to say, hello, I'm thirsty. And the edges all curl in. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly fine. These plants are quite drought resistant. They're pretty good with drought, I think. I've had this since I was a teenager, and it just won't die. So here you go. So right, this is a typical leaf on a golden pothos. As you can see, this one has got some really nice variegation on it. This one gets intermittent sun, so some of the bigger leaves have got a little bit, I'm trying not to break it as I lift it up because they're all tangled. So some of the bigger leaves have got a little bit of variegation on it. But these new ones that are coming through have got a lot more. And you can see this nice yellow, almost like spotty variegation, which is really nice. And another one on that one. And a little bit on this one. But there's no pattern to it. It just comes in as it likes. And it will get more variegated as it gets more sun. So that's it. Put it in a nice sunny place. Not direct sun or it'll get a bit of sunburn, but a nice indirect sunlight, and you'll be away. Nice and easy one. So just to show you the difference in the leaf shape, as you can see, if I lay this one over the top, it's still quite similar. However, this one is a more elongated heart. The top bits near the stem are not as pronounced, and it's sort of more like an oval shape. Other than that, there is really not that much difference. The main way I tell the difference between the two of them is the variegation. That's the easiest way to see it, because you don't really get philodendrons that have that kind of variegation. You get the marble queen, but again, that's a pothos. And I'm just trying to think. Obviously the Hawaiian version of the golden, which has yellow stems and a lot more yellow variegation. But I don't think you get a sweetheart leaf with that kind of variegation. So that's the easiest way I can tell between the two, especially if you're in garden centres or you're buying stock for a shop or anything like that, because growers get them confused all the time. But that's the 4. So if you have any of these, or you have any questions, or you need help identifying the plant that you've got, by all means, pop a comment, get in contact with us on Facebook or Instagram. All the links are in my channel. And as always, if you like my videos and you find them helpful, give us a subscribe and a thumbs up, and I'll see you all again next time.